Hi there, I'm Martha Van Dam, and this is Living Beyond. I want to share with you a story about something that happened to me yesterday, and I was able to use one of the tools that I teach so often to my clients, and I will so strongly recommend to you. But I was able to use it for me, and it made a really big difference. It helped an awful lot. So I had an issue that I realized needed to speak with a business person about, another person that I do business with. There was something that I saw as a problem, and I also have seen this problem for a while, so I've had a little time to think about it. And so I also had come up with an idea for a solution. So I went to this other office, this entity, this business, and spoke with actually the first person who came to the door. I'd spoken with someone else once in the past, but I spoke to this person and I told her, um, trying to be as gentle and kind and a little sense of humor at the same time, to say, yeah, I've got a little bit of a complaint, a little bit of an issue, but I have an idea too, trying to be that way about it. And I explained the issue and explained a potential solution and asked what they thought about it. And what this person did was, immediately I could feel, as soon as I started talking about the issue, I could feel the defensiveness come up in this person, kind of the wall come up. And pretty immediately, they were not hearing what I had to say. They were only defending why it is the way that it is. And it's that sense of, when you get into a discussion with someone, you could tell when you've just been shut down. They are not interested in hearing what you have to say. They're just telling you this is the way it is, and really have no patience for having to even be in the conversation in the first place. That's them. And I felt like I did a really good job of trying to present in a gentle and kind way. And to be honest, I think I'm pretty good at that. So I know that I was not offensive coming from me. If she felt offended, it was because of own concern. And so at the time that it was finished, and I knew I was just dismissed, and my idea was not going to be considered, and neither was the problem being considered, at least how it affected me. When I came back to my office, I had all those feelings that we have when someone hasn't listened. We've just been completely dismissed, and they were just not interested in what we had to say. And so I had all that feeling inside. I don't know where you get it, but I can tell you where mine is. It's in my gut. It clenches up like that. I do not like that feeling. I hate it. And also, it was the kind of feeling that I knew if I didn't do something, it was going to hang over. It was just going to linger into my day. It was going to linger through my lunchtime. I did not want that to happen. So, thinking, well, I've told my people this a million times. I've tried it out myself. I know it works. I better lean into what I say is a healthy thing to do. So I did the tapping that you've heard me talk about. You've seen in other places where you're specifically tapping while you use a specific regimen of things that you say that helps settle the limbic system, settle the amygdala, so that you're not all activated, and helps the prefrontal cortex, the thinking part of our brain, open up, so that it's more open to ideas and it's more open to moving forward. So I went through this process sitting at my desk in my office, and it immediately began to settle me. And as I continued on through the tapping process, saying the things that you would say during tapping, then I could feel my mind settle, and I could feel it open up with new ideas. And while I was tapping, I suddenly had a new idea for something that I thought, oh, maybe that would change something. Maybe that would help her to come up to solve this problem with me. And so I stopped what I was doing right then and went back over, knowing full well they were not going to be happy to see me come back in the door again. But I did go in, and I said, I've had another idea. Just see, what do you think about this? And I suggested the idea. Even then, she didn't sound excited. And she just simply said, well, I'll write that down and I'll pass that along to the other people who would be decision-making people. I didn't have a whole lot of hope, just because of the way that she responded. A few hours later, a knock on my door, and it's another person in this entity, actually the in charge person. And what they say to me is, that was a great idea. I wish I'd thought of it. We're doing it. Just that simple. Now, I am not saying because I tapped, then everything worked out perfectly. That is absolutely not the end of this story. Absolutely not. I was happy, thrilled to see that it's worked out, and the problem that's been bothering me for a very long time is going to be solved. So happy about that. But what I want to share with you is that tapping, that tabbing was the method, but the actual what I was doing was taking charge. I'm not going to let this event steal the rest of my day. It's not going to steal my lunchtime, and it's not going to steal the rest of my afternoon. By making that decision, what I was able to experience first and foremost was peace. That was the most important part. And then the second part was, while I was at a more peaceful and open state, I was able to actually come up with an idea that ended up being the solution in the long run. So the point is, you take charge and you do some of these things that I'm teaching you, and we move forward together, and life is better. Hope that you have an amazingly beautiful day. I'm going to sit out here and enjoy this outside a little bit longer. Find some time to get outside in your day. Spring is such a lovely time. Okay, thanks and bye-bye, and I hope your day is wonderful.